Welcome everyone to happy hour again. Hey, it's good to see you too. It seems like since last week, I don't know, like the last 4 days for me have been really busy. It seems like again, as we've set up for every week, that just getting to Monday seems like it took a full week of work just to get from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. this afternoon.
I would agree with that. And you're actually an early riser. I've seen you posting stuff to the show page and to our group messaging as early as 5:30. So we know that your day doesn't even, wait until 8 a.m. when Joby and I are still just now wrestling from the pillows. You're up and at 'em right away. So your day is longer than you just described. You're not giving yourself enough credit.
Well, I try not to tell anyone what time I go to get up in the morning because then I sound like an old timer. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, like my great grandparents. Like, what are you doing up at 4 o'clock
It's
in the
only
morning?
bad though if you
Here I am.
but it's only really bad if you go to bed at like 7:30 or 8.
Yeah, right.
And
Well, I
my
have been
folks
known to
have
do
done
that.
that on occasion.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know about the 4 days, but I know that the Monday definitely goes by fast,
yeah, it does.
especially between about 12 o'clock and 7 o'clock. I don't know what it is.
Well,
Disappears so quickly. I think I barely even left my house until like 12:15 or 12:30. I was doing emails and work all morning. I looked up, I'm like, holy crap, I don't even think I've showered yet.
mm-hmm.
It's
And
because I hadn't.
yeah. Well, and then coming on. Well, wait, have I? What's that? Man, I'm smelling a little ripe. Well, I was just thinking, like the weekend, Joby, it must have been busy for you, yeah. Like
Yeah, Chris,
the
it was. I think everybody
weather.
was. The weather was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, definitely. Everybody from anywhere that was not 75 degrees, so anywhere that was 95 and above, was in Ventura this weekend for sure. I think some of the temperatures were 105, 100 and something, 110. So yeah, I think all those people came to Ventura, which they're all welcome, of course,
Right.
as long as they
Well,
have their
Take
masks
their
on.
dollars.
they're coming to Ventura because it was 75 degrees and so much cooler, and we're like, God damn, it's hot out. We're
Yeah, there were people saying it was hot. That's true.
Much different.
There were people
But I'm
saying
with
it was
Joey.
hot.
Masks up, dollars out, and we'll be okay.
Masks on. That is great.
it sounds like some bad 80s rap song. Masks down, dollars out.
No. Mask up, Curtis.
Oh,
Mask
there we
up. Because
go.
mask down would be bad.
No, Curtis is already formulating the Weird Al Yankovic version, where it's the opposite
no.
of what the song.
Mask up, because if it's mask down, then you're violating the rules.
Right.
I like that one.
Violation.
I've seen some pretty funny signs actually that people have been posting, like different. There's one from New York. I should find it, but had some really funny stuff on it, like about the rules about going into the place, and people have been getting creative with that. It's good. I like yours, Jason. I might use that. Mass up, dollars out, or mass up, credit card out.
You got to do the credit card out.
Yeah, that's right. Because
So,
there's
on
no
that
cash.
note-
You can't do cash.
No cash. So Curtis, the funny thing that happened tonight was I needed to do some laundry. Laundry's been building up and no one's got coin these days. And I didn't know what to do. I went to the store the other day. I went to a big brand or a big chain grocery store. And I was like, here's my $20 bill for some chips and a couple things just so I could break it and get a roll of quarters. And I've said, hey, could I get a roll of quarters for this $10 bill? And the young lady said, no, we can't give out change, as the coin dispenser was giving me change for my transaction.
Wait, I have a question. How is it in this year of COVID? That's how they mark years like that. This will be known as the year of COVID. How is it that in this year of COVID, machines don't take credit cards for laundry? How is that even possible?
Right.
Some do, but some older establishments that
Older
this gentleman occupies is still coin operated.
This
So
must
what
be the
ended up happening,
same.
Curtis,
The same family as the cash only eating establishments, I would say.
yeah, they're related. They're cousins at least. And so
Yeah.
what ended up happening, Curtis, is I started to take the recycling outside, and my beautiful friend and co-host Joby Yobi just happened to be sitting in the parking lot of his restaurant.
I was picking up
So
my
I started a
Enegren.
conversation. Yep, getting his beer, and I said, "Hey, there's not a random chance that you got some quarters in the safe, is there?" And he's like, His face kept contorting all these weird directions.
Right, like I've
He's like,
got them,
"Let's go
but
look."
Because
man,
I'm
I
like,
need those
what are?
quarters.
Well, I was like, what are those? We haven't used those. What are these quarters you speak
That's
of?
right. 'Cause you're not even doing quarters at the bar anymore, are
We
you?
just rounded. We just rounded up and down, man. We don't. Who has time
Round
for
it.
change?
Just give us your money. Just give us your
Just-
random change.
Who has time for that?
But it's like that moment. So he turned the dial, right? It's like on the safe.
Yeah.
The door opened, and I swore that I heard trumpets and angels. Oh, because there was a big old pile of quarters right there, and I was able to exchange my $10 bill for $10 in laundry money.
I think you should find another laundromat that takes credit cards, man. There's got to be one.
But this one's in the basement of my building, man. I don't
That's
have
pretty
to go
cool.
It's pretty
anywhere.
convenient.
That's right.
I had to take. I had to use cash the other day. Now I'm trying to remember what it was even, but I think what it was is what I was trying to buy was not near the dollar amount, which was the limit for the minimum for a credit card, and so I just happened to have cash and I gave it to him, and then I got all this change back, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so dirty now grabbing all of this cash, putting it in my pocket. Like, I don't want this. What?
I know. It's all the cash and all the change and everything. It's like, here you go. Don't get. Try not to get sick. You're good.
Yeah, I saw I saw a meme earlier today, and it was somebody who was talking about when they see pictures of parties, they just look at it as, God, that looks like a dirty mess right now. Like, I don't even want anything to do with just all of the touching and the closeness. And I know that we always talk about wanting to get back to that spot, but there are some things that are going to change from this, and I think that whole collecting coin thing or changing, that's
Well, that's funny that you say that, because my thought is, why don't they just knock on, let's put it out there. All you people that have it in your house, bring it in, right? People have change. Like, how it's a conspiracy. It's a cashless society.
and not charge us, and not charge them the 15%, 10% or whatever at the banks that they charge you now to count your coins, right?
That's right. That's right. It's all moving in the direction, man.
Yeah.
Just put your palm out and scan.
Right. Well, I
With you,
found
though, I feel like potentially there's a little bit of a conspiracy with pushing us all to cashless, because it's not. I don't believe that there's a shortage. I believe that somebody or some people are hoarding it.
well, you probably have a good point there.
Somebody's
Well,
getting
I
it
mean,
under their mattress. I'm not saying it's the government. I'm just saying that somebody's like just stashing their money away because they're afraid that at some point they're going to get down to their last nickel, literally.
Right. Well,
I think we should all take all our coins and just go by, just go to all the breweries and just pay with coins. Just circulate all the money.
Thinking back to your childhood and growing up, though, did you have a big jar that you and your family used to throw your spare change into?
Yep. Mine was always liquor bottle boxes.
Liquor bottle boxes. All right.
They work really well. You cut a slit in the top and you just stick your coins in there.
Interesting. I would have never thought that. I wouldn't.
There you go. Or Crown Royal
I'd
bags.
only-
Crown Royal bags are
Oh,
super
Crown
handy.
Royal bags. Those are nice. I don't know why I had a fascination or this like desire to save those types of things, but then I'd end up like 3 or 4 Crown Royal bags, and I'd be like, what? Why do I still have these? What am I
They're
putting
so
in
cool.
Because
Like
they would just
cigar
stay in a
boxes.
drawer somewhere.
They're like cigar boxes. You can't throw it away.
So, but cigar boxes, I still have a few, and one of them has all my darts and my supplies for when I go to the pub, throw darts. Another one has like my old baseball cards and things that I think are worth something, but probably are just, just gonna be used.
Oh, they're
to
coming
start a
back.
fire
Yep,
somewhere.
they're coming back. Sports cards are coming back.
I've
Might
got
wanna
a
look-
Michael Jordan card from when he was on the White Sox.
You might want to look into it, Jason. There's apparently, due to COVID, there's a resurgence of sports card collecting.
It's because everybody's sitting in their home realizing,
Yeah.
hey, maybe I can do something with all this junk in my closet.
That's right.
Well, I keep thinking of your Crown Royal bag, and it makes me think of Robin Hood kind of thing, where you're going to steal these bags of money and go redistribute.
I
it
could
to
picture
the-
Joby running around town with his velvet bag full of coins. Excuse me,
Crown Royal
sir.
bag.
How
But-
much
but
do
not
I owe
just-
you?
Right, not just any Robin Hood though. The Disney Robin Hood, the fox and the lazy
yeah.
lion and the
Awesome.
Why did you think that Joby would be the fox all of a sudden? You're hilarious.
I don't know. That's because I think that is the most comical use of the money bags was that particular Robin Hood analogy.
You're on it. I agree.
I
Well,
think what's the worst thing
jar-
you could put in a Crown Royal bag?
We don't. I don't think we want to go there.
I think we
Fresh
should
bottle
talk
of Crown
about
Royal.
that. Yeah. Hey, some people really enjoy Crown Royal.
My jar, though, my family's jar, was actually my first exposure to a carboy before I knew what it was. So my parents used the big glass water jugs
Right.
that became, the home brewer's delight as years went by. But there was one time where we filled it and it was so heavy that when we tried to pick the jar up, the bottom literally fell out.
Oh,
It cracked all along the curve of the
Right.
circumference of the jar and just went, and it was one big piece. There wasn't like any shattering anything. It just couldn't sustain the weight. And then we tried a plastic one at one point, thinking that would be a little sturdier, like maybe it would just stretch instead. No, did not work out.
That was back in the day when you had to roll it and take it. You could not take. There was nowhere to
Correct.
take loose change.
That was like
to.
a family activity. You dump it
Yeah,
on
and
the
then-
living room floor.
Man, and think about all these poor companies that made all these coin sorters and counters, and they're going to go out of business now. There's going to be no more coins for you to sort
Well, to your
and count your
statement
coins.
earlier about the laundromat in my basement laundry, I was like, what other businesses right now are definitely coin focused? Think about all the gumball machines and all the stupid little kid sticker dispensers and whatnot. That's just going to be dead product laying around all these storefronts.
You're going to have to get a
That
little
used to
credit
be
card.
like the
Apple
thing
Pay.
when we would go to the Apple Pay. Can you imagine? Oh, honey, I'm sorry. We can't get your little bouncy rubber ball because I left my Apple Pay device at home.
Yeah, I don't have any coins.
Please,
That
nobody
That was the
use their
thing,
Apple
though. When
Pay
we went to the
device.
pizzeria in town, we'd always want to have a quarter to get some of our little trinkets and toys out of the dispenser before we left.
By the way, that was one of my favorite things to do as a kid was churn those because some other stupid kid didn't turn it all the way or turn it enough. Turn it just that little extra churn and like bam, here it comes out. And I'd be like, yes.
Like a
'Cause
couple
you-
extra M&Ms.
Well, you look at it and it would like they would turn it, but not enough.
Right.
And so they'd be like, oh, it's broken. Fuck it. There goes my 25 cents. Hey, and then the big ticket things were 50 cents with 2 coins and it would turn. But yeah, it was like, oh, this kid didn't turn it all the way. It's like, bam, you're right. Curtis, a couple of Jujubes or a couple of Mike and Ike's. There was a Mike and Ike's.
Yeah, can you
Oh,
just
Mike and Ike's,
just
that was a
imagine
beautiful-
that
get
now?
Your hand under there.
Well,
That
just
is, I don't think that's allowed.
right. Just imagine that they're just pouring it into this empty container.
The COVID containers. COVID candy 2020.
Oh yeah.
Somebody must be working on that already at Apple Pay for those kind of things for vending. I'm sure vending machines already have it.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
had it forever.
Yeah.
But the little, there are people that make their living on those little machines, Jason, that you're talking about. And then what about the rides in front of the supermarket? What are those guys going to do?
Those things
Oh
still
wait,
exist.
you can't use that. You can't use that right now. COVID. That's right. Yes. What is the movie? What is the name of the movie where she's doing that?
What is
at
Curtis doing over there?
I was
Target or
riding
Walmart?
the rocket out in front of the store.
What's the name of the '90s movie where she's riding the horse one inside the? She's in Target or Kmart?
Oh yeah, it was Target, and it was
They're
damn.
just watching her.
Yeah, and it's like she broke in at night or something. They were there at night, right?
They were there at night, yeah. And she starts riding and just looking at him. But
What the
that's
hell
for another
was-
show.
What was that
Yeah.
show?
If you know, listeners, shoot it to us because we're the old guys right now. And
And-
we can't remember.
And I'm trying to remember
Which
who
it's an
the,
old movie,
the
too.
actress's
It's an old one.
the actress's name.
It was either Liv Tyler or the other one from that same genre.
It was actually I think it's a little earlier than
A little earlier than Liv
What
Tyler.
about- we can't go to the fair or the carnival this year, but if we're in a true coin shortage, when will we catch back up so that in time for the next fair we can flip the coins into the fish bowls? What about
It's
the
the-
games that use coins?
Jason, I think coins are done. I think this is the year.
How are we supposed to have our drinking games at home without quarters?
Quarters are going to be something where when you see it, you're going to be like, "What is that?" Or kids are going to say,
Someone
"What is
didn't think
that?"
this through.
And you're going to have to explain to them, "Oh, there was this time where you had these little things, and they
Well-
represented 25 cents."
Right.
And they're going to say, "What's 25 cents?"
I heard
Everything's
a
in whole
poll though
dollars.
on the Dan Lebitard show this morning that they were comparing how much money Monopoly prints each year versus the federal government, which was greater. And it got me thinking, like, they're printing paper money as if it was like someone sat on the copier and showed their butt and they're just shooting out pages, right? Why can't they just make more coin? They've got to have some scrap metal laying around somewhere. It's not about the actual content of the metal anymore like it used to be. It's just a piece of round metal with some ridges on it. You could just print something that we say is 25 cents and throw them out into the masses.
That sounds like anarchy coming our way right there.
I feel like anarchy's already here amongst us in the shadows.
Right. It's creeping. It's just like hiding behind the door, waiting for
It's
you to
that
walk
person that
through.
bumps into you when you're standing in line in a crowd and like no one says anything, no one like looks at you. They just keep bumping a little bit. And you're like, what the hell? What? Hey,
Well,
dude, back up a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to bring the show back from the darkness of the coin shortage. And let's talk about your
coin
outfit.
shortage come from?
Let's talk about your outfit, Jason. And did you leave the
My
house
outfit-
like that? Did you leave the house like that?
I did not leave the house like this. This is my in-house attire. This
love it.
is my party with myself kind of evening wear. And it's in preparation for our show guests coming on the next segment. Joby, you lined up some really cool guests that we've known for quite a long time, making a really great beer. And I've hyped them super high right now. But we're talking about the guys from Enegren in Moore Park. And every time I've ever seen them on any kind of broadcast or recording, they're wearing lederhosen. And I was like, I'm going to honor these gentlemen tonight, not only with the beer in my glass, but I'm going to go to my closet and pull out my own leather lederhosen. And hopefully they'll appreciate it. And I won't be just the groupie in the crowd that's wearing their outfit. I hope that they look at me and go, he's one of us.
Jason, you are making me feel so nostalgic. I love a good lederhosen. I love wearing them. They've been broken for I don't know how many years. Whenever the last, maybe that was in protest to myself, a silent protest, because Oktoberfest never came back, so I never wanted to fix my lederhosen. It's kind of like my own little protest. It could be. It could be. Subconsciously, I'm like, fuck it, I'm not fixing those. But yes, you're making me feel nostalgic for Oktoberfest of days of your pre-health department shutdown. If I may go there.
Yeah, dude.
Imagine. Wait. Oh, you can't have Oktoberfest now. I was gonna say, can you have Oktoberfest?
Imagine a
during
world,
COVID?
Will.
Imagine a world where 1,000 people were under a tent, merely inches away from each other.
Well, and taking it back, just to think about the types of people you maybe rub your shoulders with, there was a time where Curtis's lederhosen even outdid both of ours because they were not just handmade, they were resourceful and they were innovative. Curtis, tell us what you did with your lederhosen.
Well, my general philosophy in life is if you can't fix it, then you have to duck it. So, like, I ended up, I was scrambling and I just made myself, it was basically the suspenders part. It wasn't the shorts. I had some other shorts on, but duct tape, lederhosen straps. Yeah, it was, and I made
yeah, but what about the accessory?
It was
there was an extra component.
Yeah, the duct tape hop. I know I have it here. It's back here on my kegerator here behind
At the
me.
break, I think you should get it, bring it to the camera so we can all appreciate and enjoy the duct tape hop.
Yeah, surprisingly, or maybe not, I don't know. Hops are pretty easy to create out of duct tape for any of you would-be arts and crafts listeners out there.
I'd say that's surprisingly to me because I did not know they were easy to craft.
I would have
Of
known.
course, you are the artist of the group.
He is. Yes, he's got a leg up on us.
Yeah.
He's got a lederhosen strap up on us.
You know, those hops are really easy to create with duct tape. It's very simple. You just put a couple pieces.
Okay, fine. Maybe
Well, well, Eric,
I did enjoy that though. I enjoyed creating those, wearing them. They got plenty of looks for the sheer duct tape-ness of it, I guess.
Yeah, and as I recall, you guys were the
co-hosts.
co-hosts, though. You guys were the co-hosts,
We're supposed to be the
co-MCs.
co-host, but what's going to happen is he's going to show up at Christmas time, Joby, with duct tape hops for both of us to hang on our tree.
That's all. I will.
Like, see, I told you they were easy to make.
I will gladly hang duct tape hops on my tree. First, I'll disinfect them.
Right. Yeah,
And
you don't want
them.
to touch anything that I've been touching.
Actually, Curtis, you're probably the safest out of all of us.
I don't know. Where's he traveled this past week? Curtis, where have you been?
I know. Well, I did tell you that I had to touch cash money this weekend, so
That's right.
like,
Oh man.
I
That is
almost like
dirty.
no, keep the change. It was like $1, and I'd given her 20. I was like, no, really, just keep the change. I don't want to touch any of that coming back at me. Oh well.
So, well, I hope you've set the table, Jason, for our guests. But hopefully, they're wearing their lederhosen, or you're gonna be sadly disappointed.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the tour guide that's more into the ride than anyone else who paid to be on it.
Only if you can talk like with the side list, like, "Hey guys, what's? Come on now.
All right, you elegant voice, tell me all about your newest brew.
What's yes? What
What's
about
on
the
the docket for this
lederhosen?
year?
Lederhosen is really
What's
hard
coming
to.
out of the lotto ton?
Lederhosen is very hard to say like
It's
that.
hard to side list with the word lederhosen. Surprisingly, who knew?
It's very difficult, but it's not as difficult as making a duck-shaped hop.
Seems like this is about the best place for us to say, "Hey, let's take a break and bring in our guests." What do
I
you
think it's a beautiful time.
All right, so we're gonna take
fantastic time for us to take a break.
we're gonna take a couple-minute break, and we will be right back. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs.
Ready? Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Do it.
Go ahead.
All right. Welcome back to Happy Hour Again with Jason and Curtis and myself, Joby. We've got Aaron and John from Enegren Brewing, man. Welcome, guys. How you guys
Drink the
doing?
big meat, Joby. You'd have had a better. You'd wet your whistle if you'd have drank the big meat.
I've already had a couple Enegrens, I'll be honest. But the good thing about these is that they're low alcohol, so I can have several of them. So we're good. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being on.
Oh, thanks for having us. Yeah.
We've got
So
And by low, we mean 7.2% that I'm drinking right now from the big.
Yeah.
Just clarify, 7.2 low alcohol.
Well, Jason, okay, first thing we want to know is how do you say this?
Rasenmäher.
All right, that didn't sound so hard.
Rasenmäher?
Yeah, that didn't sound.
Rasenmäher.
Yeah, it's right. See, everybody's got their thing that's so easy. Curtis is making duct tape hops. You guys are pronouncing the names of your beer.
Yeah.
That was
What's
super
easy
easy.
for us?
That
That's
was
one of my
super
favorite
easy.
things when people come into the brewery now is like, at first when we started naming beers, we're like, oh no, nobody's gonna be able to say that. And then now we're like, I hope they can't say that. Yeah.
Well, mission
Right.
accomplished. Mission accomplished because
Yeah.
we cannot say this.
Well, I think that's
We're gonna
the
give the
interesting.
audience a little view real quick.
Well, I was just gonna say, I
Let's
think
see
the
if they
interesting
can,
thing about
pronounce those.
go ahead, Jason,
Nice.
is the German language seems to have a lot of consonants that you don't necessarily say. So that word looks like about 14 syllables long, and then it's just Rasenbier. There we go.
Yeah.
You either don't say
Rasenmäher.
them or you say them with a lot of phlegm.
So John, is this a real word or did you guys? Is this a
Yeah,
real
it
German
means
word or did you
lawnmower.
put it? Oh, that's right, the lawnmower beer.
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Definitely.
I'm not cutting my lawn right now, but this is hitting the spot. It's perfect.
Oh my god.
Joby,
Problem with
when's the
those is I
last
can
time you
drink
cut
a
your
four
lawn in
pack in
general?
about 15 minutes. So this thing's just
Nice.
crushable.
It is definitely crushable. Well, tell us about Enegren. I mean, we've all been there. Maybe some of our guests haven't been there, but how long have you guys been around? What's going on? What's the latest?
Yeah, well, we're coming up. So this month is actually our 9th anniversary. So we've got our 9th anniversary Imperial Pilsner about to come out in a few weeks. We just haven't known what the hell we're going to be able to do yet this year. So we haven't posted too much about it, other than the fact that we brewed it. So we had another Imperial Pilsner. It's our 3rd time doing that. But yeah, so 9 years in Moore Park. We started out. It was Chris Enegren, Matt Enegren, and Joe Nishenzi at first, and they were all college buddies at Loyola Marymount. Started brewing in the dorms, took that to a garage, to a backyard of their buddy's house out there, then to their parents' garage, and then into a small, basically a garage, like an industrial garage that we turned into a small brewery. And now we're about 8 times the size of that. So went from a little 3-barrel system, and now we're 15-barrel system and lagering over 3,000 barrels a year. And we're distributed from Santa Barbara through San Diego regularly and Arizona. If we can get beer out there ever. We got so much beer going through California that it's been hard to get it out there. But and then at Trader Joe's throughout California. So you'll see beers going in through Trader Joe's, and kind of goes in and out just based on how much they order, like in big bulk batch, and then it goes and it's gone. So I came in, I'm in about 2014. I went to school with Chris Enegren at Moore Park High School, and the one thing they didn't really have was a sales guy, and so I took over sales, and we started blasting it out. I became an owner a little while ago. We brought Aaron in about 2.5 years ago, right?
April
Yeah.
2018.
And he's just been crushing sales for us from our north, like the accounts in our northern area of our footprint. And then we got another guy, Sean, who does kind of LA and stuff. And then our distributor helps us out, and we fill the rest. So
Now,
Yeah.
John, you and I are both wearing garb that kind of fits in theme with the brewery. You're in sales,
yeah, I guess
I'm in sales. So we're the two guys that really fit the sales bill. Have you ever
Yeah.
led a meeting, Aaron? Has he ever led a meeting where like he gets up in his traditional attire and really wants to drive the theme home, and you're like, oh God, not the lederhosen again?
No, man. I've grown up in the beer scene. I've been around, worked a couple restaurants and things like that, and I'd always known John as the guy always in lederhosen. And you just know how serious, like, it's not even you don't even have to take him seriously. You just look at him. You know he loves the
Gratuitous crotch shot.
That's what Zoom is for.
Well, mine are like custom ones that I got in Germany, so they don't have the straps. So it's like, I mean, they fit like a glove too. So I love wearing them. Doesn't matter how hot it is out there. These things are fantastic.
Wait, so
People
is
don't
it?
know is that
if John can
takes
find a
down
reason to
own
wear it, he
deer.
will wear it. It doesn't.
He
doesn't
actually
have to
wrestled the deer to the ground in order to get the hide for his lederhosen.
Wait, John, I want to
Give me
focus.
your pants, dear.
I want to focus on the straps. On the straps for a second. Wait, is there a wrong or a right way? Do you have to have straps, or is it a rookie thing to have straps? Sorry, Jason, just asking.
No.
But
That's okay.
because you said
I
yours
let my
don't have
straps down
straps.
when I had too much to drink.
Yeah. Well, so when I went out there too, I mean, everybody thinks that, oh, if you don't have straps, you're not wearing lederhosen. It's just different styles, you know. It's just completely. You could have it like, I got a really cool belt with a nice buckle on it, and I have a pair. I mean, I have, I think, 4 pair of lederhosen now. So 2 of them have straps, 2 of them don't, and you can just wear them or not. Whether if I have like a vest on or a cool shirt like this, you know. So just whatever.
Now, Aaron,
I guess
you've done the lederhosen too, Aaron. I saw.
Oh
you.
yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you
That's
with
like
the
that's
lederhosen.
that's basically, you don't get the job unless you basically
Yeah.
have lederhosen. You can't work from unless you don't own a pair.
Exactly.
If you show up, you are odd man out.
But I guess that was one thing that I didn't really say when talking about the brewery is we specialize in German lagers. So, and hence,
So have you guys gotten, in the beginning, was it, I know you've been there since, you said 2014. Was it tough for them to have like an all German style, brewery in a land of IPAs and a land of pale
Oh, yeah.
ales and stuff?
I think like originally it was, sorry, my baby's crying. I think I'm being too loud for her. Let me change my scenery.
That's all right. This is a live show, everybody.
Yeah.
Like it.
Love it.
And on the move.
All right.
I think we might be hearing ourselves in your microphone, John.
Okay, let me pause. That's what I thought. Let me try and get some headphones real quick.
All right, go for
No
it.
problem. We'll dig into Aaron, your background a little bit. Being one of the newer guys on the team, what is it, or what was it about the Enegren vibe and the beer style that really drew you in? Why did you feel like it was a good fit for you?
Well, I mean, I came from Fluid State before I jumped. I was Fluid State's opening front of house manager. So when I had the opportunity to interview, my wife was pregnant at the time. So working as a general manager of one of the newer beer spots, they were always busy. I was working 60. There we go. Sorry. We kind of figured, if my wife's going to have a baby, she was due in October. This was kind of February when we found out. We decided it's like, it might be time to maybe kind of step away and look for something that's a little more freeing and things like that. And I'd met John multiple times. I'd seen him beer festivals, always appreciated their beer. Their beer was always, I don't want to say obscure, but it was so solid for styles that weren't being represented as much in the beer scene currently at that time. I mean, it was like you mentioned, it's lagers in a sea of IPAs. And so just going in and meeting with Chris Enegren and meeting with John and things like that, it just really fit. Like it feels like less like a job and it feels more like a family. It's a lot easier to work and to want to go to work and do things like that when that's kind of what you're dealing with and working for. And not to mention that you put some of the best lagers on top of that, and it's just like it's a dream, man. It's the beer sells itself. The brewery is highly respected, and just the styles, people are getting more and more attention because we've been doing lagers for years, more so than some of these other people that are now kind of stepping up their lager game and things like that. And usually when people kind of start looking into that stuff, Chris is one of the first people that they call to start asking questions and kind of poking around ideas and things like that. So to answer your question, Jay, it all just kind of made sense. It was a right move. They were somebody that always stuck to their guns when it came to distribution. Was pushing really hard. They're like, oh, you guys need to make fruit IPAs, and you guys need to do this, and you guys need to do this. And they were basically like, no, man, we like German lagers. If people get it, cool. If not, it is what it is. Like when they're ready for lagers, we'll be here. And now it seems like more than ever that the beer scene is really ready for high quality, crushable, drinkable beer, and low ABV, and just drink and go.
And I even look at some of the other beers. Like, I mean, with Jason is you've got the Big Meat? Is that is
yeah,
that right?
I'm drinking the Big Meat. It's a smoked Bock beer.
Right, and then you have that, and then we're talking about the lawnmower beers. But some of the ones like Valkyrie, even though I think that's what 6.5% maybe or 7 somewhere.
Yeah.
And I love that beer. And then also when it's my box season, like that is, especially when it's this clean, crisp. And when you're talking about food beers, both the Valkyrie and the Maibach are just two of my favorite pairing beers, because no matter what you put down with that beer, it's going to go well with it.
Yeah. And see, that's kind of the beauty of German beers. Like they were really big on pairing and really big on, oh, we eat this, we drink this, we drink this, and we eat this. And it's beer is just as versatile as wine. It's just that it's so easy to basically just kind of pair it. There's so many different flavor profiles and all the different styles.
I'm catching a little bit of feedback. I was just double checking my levels here. Okay.
Nope.
So that's the beauty, though. I think what we're experiencing, Curtis, is that one of our hosts.
Guilty as
charged. I want to
charged.
call you out, Aaron. Someone was so intrigued by the fact they were on the show that they wanted to hear themselves live.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that, Aaron.
Hey, I've been there, dude.
Yeah,
that was my first 2 years with the show with Joby and Curtis. I just wanted to hear myself on the show. I'm like, hey, can you guys play that while I'm talking?
Hey, Aaron, I'm curious, Aaron, did your taste in beer, not your taste as in quality of beers, but your taste for lagers and that, did it change that you started working at Enegren? Did you always like, because the three of us are fans of lagers and pilsners. I mean, that's we love IPAs too.
I go to the point they make fun of me about it. I drink a lot of pilsners, so I'm super excited to talk in a few minutes about what an Imperial Pilsner is. So keep that in your back pocket.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I come from, other stuff like that. Everybody's intro beer is usually an IPA. When I first started kind of cutting my teeth on craft beer, it was Firestone double barrel and Union Jack. That's what I drank. If there was one in the fridge, if there wasn't one in the fridge, the other one was. And so, we always, John always touches on this, is that, lagers always have that weird, everybody thinks it's like, oh, lager just means like light, like wussy beer. Like, it's just, you're drinking Bud Light or Coors Light or stuff like that. And it's, the misconception is just insane. It's those beers, like Jason, you're drinking Big Meat right now. That beer is 7.2%. Our Imperial Pilsner has been 7%, 8%. Light doesn't, lager doesn't mean light. A lager is just literally just refers to the ale to the yeast and the fermentation process. It's just going to be clean, crisp, and it's going to fit every different flavor profile. You can have a lager that tastes exactly like an IPA. It's just going to be cleaner and crisper, and it lends more to the malt. I think beer education is kind of just the big thing about it. But going from drinking IPAs heavily from when I first started getting into it, and basically Enegren just opening me like, oh, I know what lagers are. Like, yeah, I've had Lightest One and I've had Lagertha. Like, I get it. But coming back into it and having beers like Nighthawk and having beers like the Big Meat and Edelpils, just a straightforward German Pilsner, just the quality of it that we do just blew my mind. Like I knew the beer was good, but the
One of the
beer
things
just
too,
gets better and better.
one of the things too is like the beers that we're making, a lot of people have never had, or they've never had them how they're supposed to taste. Because like if you do get a German beer over here, a lot of the times it's oxidized by the time it gets over here, and they always have like a maybe a little bit of that sour apple flavor to it or something. With it's just things have gone wrong in that beer, and when you taste those beers over in Germany, it's a completely different beer. Um, and that's when like Nighthawk, the lightest one, and Edelpils especially, those ones are the ones you're like, holy shit, that's what this is supposed to taste like. Or people are like, well, this doesn't taste like a German beer because it doesn't have that oxidation flavor, which was something that even us at the beginning were like, how do we get it to taste like a German beer? And then it's like, oh right, when you go to Germany and you have it, that's what it tasted like. We're like, that's what it is. So I mean, we've gotten a lot, especially from the lightest one. People that love German beer are like, this is spot on. Like it's what a German beer is supposed to taste like. And Edelpils too, where Edelpils is going to taste a lot different than a lot of other pilsners that are around here, because they're not decocting the beer. They're not doing step mashes like we can also, and those are German brewing techniques. That people don't use out here, and then they want to throw in whatever hops they do too. And then I mean, I can't tell you exactly the specifics on the hopping methods, but just the way that you hop those beers is not something that American brewers get. Chris and Brittany, however, have done so much research on that they've really crushed it. And when we did the collab with Bierstadt Lager, just recently, the American Reinheitsgebot, they, I mean, even finely tuned it even more. We're like, this is how they do it here. And like, if you're in Czech beer is this way, and Czech beer tastes like this because it's got this. Or like the minerality of the waters and things like that we've taken the fine tooth comb to make it that authentic.
Well, one of the things I think too is, John, is I think with some beers, and not talking about anybody in particular, just in general, right? With a lot of beers, it's kind of like cooking. You can cheat a little bit if something's not right or if something's weird. But I've always looked at, and I think somebody taught me that a long time ago, that like lagers and pilsners were sort of like these really, really fine art brewing techniques, because if you screw up, and tell me if I'm wrong, if you screw up, you actually get a really bad beer.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
You can't just cheat it and add some flavor, or add some hops to it, or dry hop it, or something like that to it. And that's why I appreciate them, because I think it is like kind of drinking, you know. And I always notice that brewers that are super into it will always try to make a pilsner or a lager at their brewery, even if they only sell it there, or whatever they do. But it's like they want to show off.
Well, that's been like the thing for us for so many years, is that we've had a lot of breweries that have loved our beer for a long time, but the public didn't know, and like now the public's starting to get it. And we're like, when we started shipping stuff, I'm seeing like all these email orders come through, and it's from some amazing breweries throughout the country, and they're just all reaching out to us now. Like they want to get our lagers, they want our lagers. And we've had great beers from a lot of places too, but they don't quite taste as German, like as like precisely that way. Um, but yeah, we've kind of been like the brewer's brewery, and now the public is starting to get it. But that's why I love Helles, is because I mean, even more than a pilsner, there's absolutely nothing to hide behind. It's softer on the I mean, it's all about the malt. There's not much of a hop characteristic to it. And the other thing we do is we actually lager it out for at least 45 days, where a lot of other breweries aren't doing that, and you can taste it in the beer. So, but yeah, I appreciate that concept too, because I'm thinking about what I'm experiencing now with the big meat, and this again being a smoked Bock beer. I went and stayed in Heidelberg for a few days during a trip a handful of years back, and it takes me right there. Thinking about we've had some other shows where we discussed that sense memory, and how a drink or an experience can really be heightened when you take that first sip. But Joby, to your point, also, I use a similar concept when I'm trying out like a new Mexican restaurant. I get, pastor or I get carnitas because I want to know the skill, right? It's about seasoning. It's about the finesse with the dish. Anybody can throw salt and pepper on a piece of beef and call it asada, in my opinion, or, steak. But similar to the lagers and pilsners, you just have the ingredients and you have to know what to do with them with a skilled hand in order to really highlight the talent. With IPAs, I grew weary of IPAs for a while when I was buying at the restaurant because it seemed like everybody was just adding extra hops, or they were complementing the hops with coconut or pineapple, and they're throwing all these adjuncts in there. And for me, at some point, I realized, does that really showcase the skill of the brewer, or is that just because it's kitschy? And so I appreciate the fact you guys are taking it to a very true and rooted level.
Thank you. Yeah. It's, I mean, it's great to be able to talk to people too that dig that and know, like, understand that too, and it's great it's so fun to teach people that people just don't know, and like, they're like,
Yeah.
like you said, like Aaron said, people just think it's light beer, but then try the Big Meat. It's definitely not a light beer. And then, but try Nighthawk, which is a light beer, but it's just dark, 4.8%. You can crush those all day. And like during the summer, I think the other day when we did the tasting out in the beer garden in the middle of the day, and it was like 90 degrees, that was probably my favorite beer that we drank that day. Even though, I mean,
tasting one.
yeah, for some, like, following the Rosenman and the Noble Pills, I mean Noble Citra Pills, that flavor just like blasted because it was so refreshing, but you got that awesome dark malt flavor. It was just really cool.
I'm gonna get a fresh glass. We're gonna pour a Nighthawk on camera. But Curtis, I also think that both these beers. Ooh, I'm getting tongue tied because I'm like salivating right now. But both these beers for me are screaming like pork shank or pork knuckle. And I went to a little pub in Germany that was like, that was the ambiance: dark lighting, rich wood, and this beautifully slow cooked piece of pork that was as big as like two of my fists side by
The
side.
Schweinehaxe is one of my favorite foods ever made.
I was gonna say,
Let's make it a glass, Curtis. We're gonna pour this thing.
I was like, Jason, where the hell is Jason eating pork knuckle? But now then you said Germany, it's like it all made sense.
Well, I think of one of my favorite times to especially like a Schwartz beer, and then that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Beer, yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was the style for that beer or what, but now I'm missing. It's German mac and cheese essentially. I'm trying to what the
Käse Spätzle.
yeah, Spätzle. So
Yeah.
you have this. So mine was in Munich and drinking a Schwarz beer, but then having like a liter of that, and then having probably this 1,500 calorie serving of Spätzle right there, and just. But being able to just gorge myself on cheese and pasta and then wash it down and just have everything be perfect in life, and being at this little beer garden in Munich it was one of those, when Jason was talking about sense memories, one of those things that just comes to my mind with that.
Yeah. Oh man, like German. I made I made Spätzle and schnitzel tonight for dinner with some mushroom gravy, and I don't know, getting in the mood for this maybe, I guess. But oh man, it was fantastic.
Jason's slow pouring. Look at
A slow pour.
Beautiful.
a slow pour. But that's, you were talking about the dark lagers. That's my favorite one when people are like, oh, no. I don't like those dark beers, man. They're really heavy.
Too heavy. Yeah.
And it's like, try this. And then they're like, what the? Are you sure? Are you sure this is like?
It really is deceiving because I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
look
taking
how
my
dark
first
that
whiff
is.
off the
Yeah.
fresh pour. It's super dark,
Yeah.
and it's got these like nice cocoa nib, almost tobacco-y coffee aromas.
Joby, I think that's a theme with this,
But it's
with this
crisp and
whole show
thin.
too.
What's
Is that whole idea that there's this perception of German beers the whole way through, and whether it's people thinking that they're light beers when obviously they haven't had a Bock or a Doppelbock ever. Like, come on, let's get this through. Or when you're talking about dark beers, and I love serving people who don't like dark beers a dark lager, and then it just blows their mind. Like, wait, this is what a beer can taste like? Yeah, that's right.
That's
I'm
kind
sorry,
of a
Jason.
wet-
I cut you off as you were taste testing there.
No, it's okay. You keep talking. Let Aaron talk. Let everybody else talk. I'm just enjoying the moment to the point where my lederhosen straps are about to fall
Strap
down.
your
I'm about to
butt
get
first one. Well, and to go on what you're saying, Curtis, is like being able to expose people to those other styles of beer is one reason. We love to bring just kind of one of our obscure beers that people are just like, I don't know, I've never had one of those. Maybe we shouldn't. Like, we love bringing Big Meat. I brought Big Meat to the Eat Drink Vegan Festival was last year. And in a place full of vegans, and you tell them, it's like, oh yeah, this one's called the Big Meat. There's a lot of hesitation, especially because they're vegan, and especially because it's such a large beer, and there's just so many questions they have. Well, is there bacon in it? Like, what did you guys put in it? It's like, no. I have to explain to that beer sold. We went through more cakes of that beer faster than anything at a vegan festival. We were out by like 3 o'clock. It was gone. The beer was just done. And it was just like, we still had like Edelpils, like just our normal German Pilsner. And we ended up bringing home more of the Edelpils because Big Meat was gone. People just drank that all day long because they were just so blown that a beer could taste like that. And with, obviously being with 4 ingredients as we're, Reinheitsgebot brewery. And it's just being able, all you have to do is get the beer into people's mouths and they're hooked and they can understand it and they get it. And they're just like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, this is incredible. So I think that's kind of been one of the big things is trying to change a lot of those ideas. Like, just give it a shot, try it. If you don't like it, you're here at a beer festival. Are you going to go to a beer festival and all you're going to drink is 805? No, that's ridiculous. You've wasted $45 for nothing. Like, you can go buy 12 packs for days on that. So go and try some, we encourage people to try something a little bit different, which is why we'll bring like one of our big heavy hitters, lightest one, Valkyrie, something like that, a good seasonal, and then we'll bring something just a little more obscure just to get.
I love that the lightest one is one of our heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, what you made your comment there about the vegan fest and the bacon, and I think about, so I'm married to a vegetarian and I am largely vegetarian, but I will never ever turn away a big piece of meat. Like, that is like I can go meatless for a very long time, but there are sometimes when I got a protein craving, or like if I'm at some, anyway, I won't go too far. But like, one of the things that I think is so interesting about vegetarian food and vegan food is the lengths that they'll go to make things taste like meat.
Oh yeah.
Or a meat facsimile. And so to have a beer that has this bacon, this meaty, smoky bacon flavor, and it going nuts at a vegan place is just, of course it did, because that's what they're always looking for, right?
Because you should be eating bacon, for Christ's sake.
Right, just eat some bacon.
Yeah, it's like we recommend you have this beer and probably pair it with a burger, like a beef burger, not like an Impossible or a Beyond, but with a beef burger.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
right.
Toby, can we do like a reduced smoky barbecue sauce made with the beer and serve that as a special at the restaurant?
That sounds great, Jason. Come on down.
You gotta get. So I've thought of this too, and I haven't had the chance to do it. But do like a big meat bacon. I'm sorry, big meat onion mushroom kind of like gravy to go on top of a Gouda, or on top of a burger with bacon and like a big piece of Gouda, and on a pretzel bun.
Maybe even some like.
Maybe we do that for Oktoberfest.
I
don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like turn it into like an onion jam kind of thing.
Yeah.
With
oh my
the
God,
big
I'm
meat.
in love with you, John.
Dude. Oh.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Should the rest of us just leave?
Yeah, let's all leave this.
You're beautiful. Beautiful, it's true.
Oh man. All right, John, whenever you want to try that, come on over. And Aaron was like, hey, we'll bring some beers and we'll come over. And then I was like, damn, that sounds great, but it's a Zoom show today, Aaron. Sorry. I really wanted to hang out with you guys.
Like you said that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I thought about it, and I was like, oh yeah, COVID times probably not what's gonna happen.
In all seriousness,
like,
though,
that makes a lot more
it's an
sense.
interesting segue because most of the time the brewers get together and they're collaborating on a beer, or the brewers bring in someone else. Like they may bring you in to collaborate on how to make a beer. You're actually going to take it the other direction, where they bring in the brewery and now to collaborate on the food side, which that could be really cool. It's a little twist there.
Nice.
See, COVID's got us all upside down and topsy turvy for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So is the big meat stick? Is that a beer that you guys make all the time, or is that just a limited?
No, I mean we made more of it this year, and we still got a bit of it left. So I think we'll have it for maybe another month or so.
Yeah, it'll stick around a little bit.
And it holds up real nicely. So that's good too. You know, being at 7.2 and dark lager, keep it cold, and you're just kind of lagering it out a little bit more almost. You know, but yeah,
I'm big into I'm big into smoke beers. I like smoke things in general, but taking it into like the educational piece, because I feel like I'm a little bit naive or uneducated in terms of how the process goes. Do you use a smoke extract or like a liquid
Now,
smoke?
so-
Are you using specific wood? Is it, how do you determine what style of smoke you want imparted into the beer? How does that process work?
so basically, I mean, so number one, like most of our beers, like 99% of them are basically to the Reagan Heights Cabot. So it's only 4 ingredients. The only one that we put any kind of adjunct in is our maple Baltic porter, where we use Vermont maple syrup, and I mean that's a historical style as well, and you use some sort of sugar adjunct. But anyway, so for the big meat and Blonde Fire, and I don't know if you guys had Blonde Fire, but that's our smoked Hellas, real good. But we use a smoked malt, so it's just basically the same exact thing. If you're smoking a tri-tip or you're smoking any kind of meat, they use wood to dry out the malt, and that's what gives the flavor of it. So this is a beechwood smoke. That's what beechwood's kind of has we've found, and Schlenkele uses a lot of beechwood as well. And Schlenkele is the German brewery that's kind of known for the smoked beers. That lends itself to beer the best. Oak kind of gives it almost too much of an ashtray type of flavor. We tried cherry one time. We did a cherrywood smoked Märzen. None of them really give that same kind of like meaty flavor to the actual malt. So trial and error on that stuff. But yeah, it's just basically instead of dry kilning malt, you use the smoke to do it, and that's the flavor that you get out of the beer. And then we back that up with some dark or some other malts in this one. So I think there's de-bittered chocolate and a little bit of Munich 2 to get that deep, rich, malty flavor alongside the smoked malt, which actually the smoked malt, if you look at it, it looks more like it is a lot more pale of a malt than the other ones that are in the beer. And then, yeah, like in the Blonde Fire, it's basically Pilsner malt and some Beechwood smoked malt, and that's it. And that beer, I don't know if you guys have had it, but we'll get you some because it's phenomenal. Really good.
Could you pronounce the kind of the benchmark in terms of smoked beers again? Could you pronounce that brewery? 'Cause I've been saying it wrong for a long time.
Schlenkele,
Yeah,
right?
Schlenkele, yeah.
Schlenkele.
SCHLENKERLA. Schlenkele.
That
Remember,
is
Joby,
one
we've had,
smoky. That's
I
a
talked
one
you into
smoky
buying
beer.
some of that
man.
beer, and it screwed up our beer lines.
Oh, yeah.
That is the smokiest beer I've ever. I think it's the smokiest beer I've ever had.
John,
Yeah,
and
they
we also
have two
had a bottle
styles,
of
right?
the,
Oh no, they do. I mean, out here you can get. I mean, on tap, yeah, you're probably only gonna find their Märzen, maybe their Urbach,
I think the
and then
Urbach, yeah.
probably their Helles now too. Their Helles, they actually don't use any smoked malt. They just use the yeast from their Märzen or from their Urbach, and put that into just a regular Helles brew. And the smokiness from that yeast that they keep reusing is what gives it the smoky flavor of their Helles.
Oh wow.
Which we tried doing that, but it was only basically a single generation of the big meat malt or big meat yeast. So we didn't get much of a smoky flavor out of it. So we had to throw in that smoked malt.
it's definitely acquired though. We had a bottle of the distilled
yeah.
spirits, and most people,
John, have you ever
as
had
soon
that?
as they smell it,
the
they turn
distillate?
off, and I always got a grin out of it. I think there's something unique about being able to leverage the smoke of the wood. Curtis, what's the smokiest beer you've ever enjoyed so far?
Well, I am not a smoky person. Like I can do smoked meats and things like that. I love a smoked meat, but when it comes to whether it's beer or spirits, I'm really sensitive to it, and it like I can't drink the big meat because it's way too smoky for me, way too meaty on that. So like, You think of even peaty scotches, and even light peat scotches I can't do because all of a sudden I get that I'm trying to think of what is it phenols,
Band-Aid-y
like
kinda?
the Band-Aid, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I get
Aaron, you're bobbing your head.
we get
I understand what he means. I'm not a huge smoked beer guy. Big meat and like blonde fire for me is a little more light and easy. Big meat we played some drinking games with when we did Lagerville at Figaro Mountain a couple of years ago, and that was I think I've had maybe one big meat since then, and
Yeah.
it's rough. It's a little rough. There's like we were talking about some sensory stuff. I think of playing quarters with Matt and Chris Enegren in Solvang after Lagerville because that's all we had to drink because all the liquor stores were closed.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, a lot of meat, little big meat goes a long way.
Yeah.
But I love it. Like I could drink the big meat.
That's a
like, I can
T-shirt,
drink a
by
lot
the
of
way.
it,
That's
but-
our
I know,
next
you need to
T-shirt,
make
John.
that. You need to make that.
It's a
maybe
great
you should
shirt.
have clipped that in the post editing.
You need to
A little
get-
big
you need to get
goes
on
a
that.
long way.
That's your next shirt.
What are we at?
Yeah.
Okay, 110. All right, I got it. I got the time code now. I'm sorry. Every
But,
once in a while,
it's-
a T-shirt design comes just floating right into our laps, and we gotta
Oh, dude.
pounce on it. So.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Can
but-
we do that as a collaboration where it's both logos, Happy Hour Again and Enegren? And it
Right.
just says on the back, a little big goes
Do
a
it.
long way.
yeah.
I love it.
That could be the name of the burger.
There you go, the little big meat. I like it.
But no, I mean, like that's what we get. I completely understand. People, you either like smoke or you don't. Like it's, I mean, in a beer, I don't think there's any kind of like middle ground on this
Yeah.
on these beers. It's either there for you or it's not.
You know-
And we see it all the time.
Yeah,
And I
John,
don't disrespect it at all. It's true story, man.
Yeah, there's so my wife, who's also a vegetarian, loves peaty scotches, and
Mm.
like I can't, when she pours that, I have to go into the next room because it's like, no, give me a Macallan or something, or better yet, whiskey or bourbon, and then I can
Yeah.
be, but I can't be even close to that when she's pouring a big old glass.
That's
of that.
because Curtis is a sweet guy. He's looking for that sweeter bourbon direction. John, I want to ask though, again, we talked earlier a little bit about being the sales guy and really embodying, as we see tonight, embodying some of the elements and the vibe and theme of what Enegren's about. If you could talk to the audience about something you wish you could advance in terms of either German style or, the Enegren philosophy and ethos, what do you wish the drinking population of Ventura County and outward in terms of German styles would learn or embrace? What do you think is missing from that culture?
I think that like it's one of the biggest things about us and what we embrace in German culture is just kind of like beer's a beverage, and it's not something to be like too highly analyzed and like talked over, and like you got to have so many different things to say specifically about this, but it's something more just like you want to enjoy the company of the people that are there and not try and show off your knowledge of beer, or like I can drink 5 double or triple IPAs and I'm cool. It's like, well, I got a liter of Hellas right now. I'm gonna be chilling here talking about the soccer game or whatever. But and to have just like a clean, nice, light beer, light beverage that you can sit in the beer garden and have a few of them with your friends is kind of like what it's about. And it's about like your community and about your family, and like that's why we have little kids running around the beer garden all the time, and it's real tough during these COVID times because everybody just kind of wants to hang out and talk to everybody. And that's kind of what our place has become, and especially in a little place like Moore Park. You've seen a lot of things blossom there because we've kind of brought this mentality to it. And that's what we try to bring everywhere when we're doing it, and just have, I don't know if you guys been to any of our parties, but we have some killer parties, and we like to go out there and we like to do events and stuff because we just like to bring that fun and that togetherness, that Gemütlichkeit atmosphere wherever we go with the beer. There you go.
I'm looking at his shirt. No, John, that's I think that's one of the things that we're all missing during this time. I think you hit it right on the head, is that we're all in such a community driven business activities. Beer is I 100% agree with you. You know, it's just something like let's just drink a beer. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have to overanalyze it.
Exactly.
And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I think I think we've kind of jumped the shark. We're over the hump on that kind of part of the beer journey.
Totally. I think so too. Yeah.
I think we're
think
coming
that,
on the other side now, and people are starting to just like, I want to drink what I want to drink. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I
You
like
don't have to like show off to your friends by what beer you're getting anymore. Which I think it was like that for a little while.
Well, and I'm
It's
sure
like,
a lot of people have a lot of beer in their cooler that they were going to show off that they never opened.
Yeah, they never
Um,
share.
I've got a fridge full of bottles that I opened.
I've got some too. Aaron,
Yeah.
so-
Whenever we get a chance to all get together, we're gonna have a big happy hour again party with all of our guests because I've got like 2012 Widmer Brothers Raspberry Stout and a 13 to go side by side. We're gonna have a good party.
nice.
And with that being said, though, Aaron, thinking, I'm stewing on the fact that you're part of the sales team as well, and I know you're getting feedback from your customers and clients about the beer. Do you have any creative influence over the styles? Are you able to bring back some of that feedback and influence like what maybe the next specialty might be or some kind of one-off experiment beer? Do you have any feedback?
There are things that we've heard, people, being that we're German style, people want to see like some German style sours. They want us to start kind of going down into that route. But it's not something, I know it's something that we've considered, John, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not something, it's something we've considered, but due to the bacteria and things like that, if you infect that brew system, it's going to be so much harder. Like with how much Valkyrie and how much Lightest One and Schonertag and other beers that we're pumping out, to take a risk on a beer like that and have it infect the brew system and have to go through a whole day of cleaning or, however long it takes, sets us back on so many other our fan favorites and other huge distribution favorites and account favorites and things like that. I feel something would more hinder us than it would help us, because we're so known for our health. We're so known for our hef is fantastic. Our hef it's one of the best hefs in California. It's, if not, the West Coast. And to pull away from those a little bit more, to push something just a little bit new, I feel would suffer. Like a lot of our accounts would suffer because it would be a lag in a lot of things like that.
Well, specifically, like, all of us at the brewery would love to do a sour, and we've had back in the day. There's been like some small things that have, we've lost a ton of beer because one thing was infected. But yeah, everybody says, well, you could do a kettle sour and it's really not going to do anything. Yeah, it could. But the risk is it sucks to not really risk that. But we have so many different innovations that we're trying to put into, like the Rasenmäher beer. Like, we come up with new stuff every year. But we're trying to stick with the stuff that we do, and specifically lagers. Like, if we're going to make something new, we want to push what the lager game is doing. Like the Rasenmäher beer it's not a style. It's not like I've never seen a beer like it. And it's my favorite summer beer that there is, because I could just crush those things. But nobody makes a crystal wheat lager, and we kind of came up with that on the fact of like, well, number one, what do you want to be drinking on the hot day when you're mowing your lawn? Number two, what is the opposite of what everybody thinks a wheat beer is? Everybody thinks a wheat beer is this hazy beer that has banana and clove flavor. We're going to flip that whole thing on it. We basically made a wheat Pilsner. And using that Mandarina Bavaria hop gives it kind of that citrusiness. The wheat gives it kind of almost a little vanilla flavor. I get a little bit of like a creamsicle kind of thing going on. But it's just like a nice, crisp beer that's complete opposite of what everybody thinks it is. And I have some ideas for next year for along the lines of that wheat lager idea. Our single hop Pilsner series, we're taking hops that people are usually putting into an IPA, but we're using, so that's this Noble Citra hop, which is basically the derivative from cryo hopping. So you get like a lower alpha acid Citra hop that's perfect for a Pilsner. And it gives you that awesome like lime zest flavor. And it doesn't overpower the beer. You don't have to have like a huge malty backbone to go to it, but that it like sits nicely in that Pilsner. And the other ones that we've done in that series, in the single hop, in the rotating hop series, have been awesome. Simcoe Cascade, it was actually a Noble Simcoe. And then we get to like things like the Anniversary Imperial Pilsner, which is our 3rd year doing this. And we did it the first year when we were like, we were putting out barrel aged Doppelbocks, and like we did a rum barrel aged Doppelbock for our 6th anniversary. And then that was kind of the first year that we were like, all right, we're 100% going lagers now. Like that's our focus. So we went with the Doppelbock. And then the next year, we're like, what? We're bringing this out in August. Who wants to drink this barrel-aged Doppelbock in August? Nobody. What do you want to drink? You want to drink a Pilsner, but let's make it a little bit special. Yeah. But even so, like, I mean, yeah, you have like one of them, but then you want to put the other one in your cellar, and that's cool. But like, but what can we make that's like still a nice, refreshing beer, but it makes it a little bit special? And drink it now, drink it fresh. We want to put that happiness in your mouth right now. That can be another shirt.
Right. I was just.
These are great.
I'm writing it down right now.
John, you're gold. You're money, dude. You're coming back.
we take like, and so what that beer is like, you basically make a big Pilsner. It's almost like a Doppelbock Pilsner. We're doing a double decoction on this beer, really getting everything that we can out of the Pilsner malt, and then we're getting creative with the hops, and we're using some old world hops, like some Hallertauer and Tettnanger, and then we're also throwing some Amarillo in there. So just playing with the different hop flavors that go well with that big malty backbone that kind of is along the lines of like the Maibach, but even a little bit lighter to really make those hops kind of pop in there. So just trying to be innovative in that lager game is really hard to do because there's not, we can't throw fruit in everything. We can't throw coconut and chocolate, and so we're not doing that. We're sticking to 4 ingredients. So how do we get the biggest flavors out of them?
Cupcakes and stuff,
Yeah.
I think that's what's.
I think a cupcake lager. You're due for a cupcake lager.
We might as well try it. But Joby and Curtis, I'd like to hitch the happy hour again wagon to the Enegren engine, and let that train take us down the tracks. I'm envisioning an origins trip because there has to be innovations. I know that we're talking about the real, very traditional and old world rules of Germany in terms of using 4 ingredients. You got to leverage everything as John, you just mentioned, you got to leverage the ingredients in unique ways to create different styles of beer. But I'm envisioning an origins trip where Happy Hour again and Enegren go to Germany for a week at least, maybe 10 days, and do some research about what current innovations, like what's happening in Germany these days. How are they finding ways to be creative within those rules and create newer styles or
the funny thing is like mostly in Germany they're not, like they're just sticking to what they do, and
it's
and
so
that's what
German of them.
want.
That is so German of them.
It's just like I've seen like some German craft breweries pop up and stuff, and also the ABC law. I mean, it's not ABC, but their beer laws out there are a little different too. So like you walk into a bar, and that bar is an Augustiner bar. Like you're getting Augustiner, and if that bar if they buy from anybody else, Augustiner's going to cut them out. They're not going to have Augustiner anymore. Same thing as like if you get Weihenstephaner or Hofbrau, like the bars are specific to what you're going to be drinking. So like small craft breweries and stuff there have a really hard time. And like when Stone even went out there, like I went to Berlin and I was asking everybody I ran into, I'm like, hey, have you ever heard of Stone? They're like, no, what's that? Like, nobody had even heard of it. And there was all like local people in Berlin because I mean, they're all drinking the same thing. And there's, hundreds of different breweries that are like under the big brand name. So Augustiner, it's kind of like how AB has a ton of breweries underneath them. But you can get like an alt beer or a Kolsch, or you can get a Weiss beer, or like 4 different Weiss beers, 4 different Helleses from these bars that have a lot. But it's our laws are a lot cooler for craft beer and to be innovative than theirs are. So, but you do have
still go. We can still go, Jason. We can still go.
We'll go search them out, man. We're gonna have to.
All this,
we're gonna
Aaron,
have to be there. We're gonna have to be longer.
Aaron, I can feel you're an advocate. All this still falls under R&D, Aaron. Help
Oh, yeah.
us on the sales side.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
let John talk us out of this.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Well, and that's it. And it kind of comes back a little bit to your question when you're saying, what styles are we hearing that people want and things like that. You look at some of these German, the German breweries, traditional breweries, they make like 2-3 beers and that's it. That's what they do. Like it's never been questioned. It's like, they're not like, oh, hey, when are you gonna make a hazy IPA walking into like Weinstefaner? And they're just like, what? It's just they're so rooted in tradition and they're so well known for the styles that they make because the recipes are so old and the breweries are so old and revered that it's kind of one of those things like not reinventing the wheel. Don't fix what's not broken. And so
And it's even the smaller breweries are like that too. They're brewing the same things that the big ones are, but they're doing it in their own way. Same thing as us is like, it's still similar styles and everything. But I would love to go out there and find what
Have
they're
either one of
doing.
you ever run into like a very German traditionalist or mother country type of individual who has given you a lot of praise? And said,
Fatherland,
hey,
Jason.
your beers
Oh, I thought you were going a
are
different
mine."
direction, Jason.
No.
I thought you were going the other way.
Anyone who's like said, hey, this is not what I grew up with, or anyone maybe who could be an immigrant and said, this is not the type of beer that I used to drink in Germany, but God damn it, it reminds me of being at home. Is there anyone that you crossed paths with?
We get that all the time at the brewery. Like we have, if you go into our brewery, you're going to hear German being spoken just by random people. Like, they, all the time, and they come in and they love our traditional styles. And every time that we like our seasonal things is kind of really what they drink. And like, we actually just brewed a Kolsch for the first time in like 6 years, and we haven't done it in so long because we're like, Kolsch is like, a Helles is better than a Kolsch, so we just made the Helles, but a Kolsch is a completely different beer, and we made it, and it's freaking spot on, man. Like it has the perfect
damn good one.
Kolsch flavors, like just tastes like that little bit of apricot peel in your mouth, a little bit of, it's so good. But we have a couple from Cologne we have a couple from Dusseldorf, and we have a couple from Cologne, and they're like those two North German states or cities are kind of like rivals, so they always give each other shit about it. But the so the people from Cologne are the people from U-Bite Sausage that we sell their sausages to, and they make phenomenal sausages. But they were in the other day, and they're like, this is phenomenal. They love all of our other stuff too, and they like Rosenmeer. They're like, we don't get this out there. They don't make this kind of thing, but we love this when it comes out, or just how ours is a little bit different on whatever, any beer that we do, that it's not like their favorite one out there, but they like it just as much.
Yeah, I remember doing an event. I did an Oktoberfest event 2 years ago, and somebody came in and we were pouring cans of Valkyrie, and a couple comes up and very thick German accent, and they go, "This is your guys' beer, right?" And there's the guy.
Wait, hold on, Aaron. You got to do the accent.
Oh, my German's terrible. My German is it's so terrible. It's so bad. It would be a disservice.
All our German fans would stop coming to the brewery.
Yeah, I'm
not
trying to get that reputation. But the guy, the rep from Schonrammer is across the room, and I have German couples coming up to us and saying, it's like they're drinking our alt beer, and they're like, we're from Dusseldorf, and this is the closest damn thing we've tasted that feels like home. Like it was just like so humbling. And I'm just like, the guy that's has beer coming in from Germany across the room. We're the guys making it 60 miles away from here, and we're the ones getting compliments on it. Like this is just, it was humbling. It was really cool to hear that even people coming from where these beer styles are made, that we're getting credit, and it's appreciated where we are, and it's awesome. It's very rare that you see a lot of people come and compliment, like, oh yeah, it's good, but it doesn't taste like home.
Yeah, we get, I think, more often than not, we get people saying this tastes like home, rather than people coming in saying, oh, it's good, but it's not like home. It's usually the other way around, which is, I mean, I'm always just blown away, like, oh man, that's the biggest compliment in the world.
Now, Curtis, you and I, we really kind of got our broadcasting mark based on Pints and Pairings, where we were doing food and beer pairings. And John, you'd referenced the sausage that you guys are collaborating with. I want to dig into that a little bit before we cut out for the end of our segment. How is it like? How do you really vet a partner like that? And how do you say your food product, especially someone who's trying to reflect that German origin, how do you approve of them? How do you make sure that their standard is up to par with the brewery standard? Because I think sausage and beer, Curtis, hopefully you agree. And if you don't, we're going to have to talk after the show. But I think sausage and beer is like a classic staple.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that you guys are in alignment in terms of the quality and the reflection?
I mean, like I said, they're from Cologne. Like they came here from Cologne, and when I heard that there was like a German couple well, it was actually our huge beer friends or our clients or our customers from Dusseldorf that told us about them and brought them to the brewery one day saying, you guys need to come here because the beer is so good. And it was kind of the other way around. They're like, these guys are making beer that's up to par on like the way that you're making sausage. That is how they said it. Where their sausage is so pure in the way that they do it that they were wanting to do stuff with us that we're doing it this way, and it's just kind of it's blossomed into a great relationship. We're working on a big meat sausage, and yeah, right now we sell their sausages at the brewery, and we can only sell the pre-cooked ones, so we've only got 3 different styles. But God, it's the best sausage. It's the best sausage that I've had in the United States. Like, we can't sell their actual bratwurst because they're not fully cooked. But if you get their bratwurst, take that home and boil it in some big meat, and then grill it, it'll blow your mind. I mean, you could just, cook their brats by themselves, but throwing it on a little bit of big meat gives it a little bit of smokiness. And then I would afterwards pair it just with some Helles and throw some sauerkraut and some good German mustard on there. And there's nothing better to me, man. It's
Curtis, are you grainy mustard, brown mustard, or smooth mustard?
Oh, I like a chunky mustard. I want some texture to that.
And John, have you guys messed with making mustard or using your beer for anybody's mustard? Not yourselves, but
no, I haven't.
I've had some really good beer mustards, but anything but the yellow mustard for me, man. Anything but the yellow mustard.
So I'm like a German mustard purist, kind of. Like I get the little ones that come in like a little beer stein.
Yes.
And it's just like it's medium senf, which is just medium hot mustard. And there's just no flavor like it to me. And like there's American ones that try to be German or just like, an IPA brewery trying to make a German beer to me. It just doesn't work out quite as well. But just the regular, and then you got like the sweet mustards for like vice versa, and I don't know, the mustards go with the meats however you're eating them. So but I'd love to find somebody that does mustard out here, like a craft mustard, and do something with them or figure it out myself.
Whatever you do not make a mustard beer. I just saw. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Oscar Blues.
Oscar Blues, yeah.
Damn you, Oscar Blues! What is wrong with you? Got your mind.
Talk about jumping the shark, man.
I'm gonna try it though.
I want to try it. I do want to try it. It's the stupid yellow mustard, though. It's the yellow mustard.
I know. Yeah.
No, go back to the grainy. We're heading in the right direction to begin with, Joby. Let's stick with the beer mustard, not the mustard beer.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to. We're gonna have to do another show where we just come back and we just taste food and drink beer.
That's gonna have to be a get together. No Zoom for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm excited about like some of the veal sausages I saw, and I want to drink, all the lagers that you guys can put in front of me. Curtis, before we go out at the end of this segment, if there was like, because I have this vision of you and your lederhosen with your duct tape hop on the front. If there was a beer that you could like suggest if there was a pairing you suggest and you could leave your mark on Enegren, what would it be?
That's put me on the spot there, Jay. Let's
Yeah,
see.
my goal and my streak is to have
In case you guys
somebody
haven't
on the
noticed,
spot every episode.
yeah, in case you guys haven't noticed, Jason interviews even us. So
Yeah.
don't worry, and we're
I like it.
Well, I do. Jason alluded to this earlier that I do like this. I do like the sweeter side of things as well, and so I do like box with desserts. So whether it's a doppelbock with like a pumpkin sort of roll kind of thing, that works out. But I'm trying to think of just like what a Bach straight out, maybe with a cinnamon roll. I mean, it doesn't have to be too crazy, but
Oh, yeah.
just
The-
being forced to come up with something right off the top of my head. I generally go sweet when I do a beer pairing like that because people
So
aren't
we had-
expecting a Bach with or a beer paired with dessert generally.
So before all the COVID stuff, we were planning our Frühlingsfest, our spring Oktoberfest, basically. And we were going to do a sausage and beer pairing with U-Bite and have a big thing at it. And actually, the dessert that we were going to do was going to be just a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream with our Gladiator Doppelbock poured onto it. Just like so it's
Nice
almost
beer
like it's
float.
beer float, but then that I mean our Gladiator's a rad 8.1% Doppelbock, and yeah, I think box and like a Doppelbock goes so great with something sweet like that. I mean, even just like if you want to go straight traditional German too, like apple strudel,
Mm.
a little bit of ice cream.
Now you're talking
and
my language, John.
Yeah,
Apple strudel, man. Those apple
Yeah.
desserts in Germany. Oh my goodness.
so good.
But John, I don't want to get you riled up because I know you're very passionate about this subject I'm about to ask you about. But I have to ask, can people go to Enegren right now? Can they go and have a drink there? What are your hours and
Oh,
what's
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
situation like right now at the brewery?
We people probably saw. I mean, we were kind of at the forefront of fighting to be able to be open, because we weren't being treated like a restaurant, even though we had the food trucks. But yeah, right now we're open Wednesday through Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, um, Wednesday, Thursday 4 to 10, Friday 2 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and then Sunday 12 to 7. So got to do the whole same thing as everybody, all the time. You got to buy some, food voucher and use it at the food truck. And you got 90 minutes, got to wear your mask, got to social distance, everything's spread out. We luckily have a real wide open area, so it's been really great. We're sanitizing everything. It's super safe. It's, um, just, and yeah, luckily we got that beer garden going last year, and so it's really helped us out. We actually have a new restaurant that's coming into the alley there too, is what we call that thing. We have the winery there, and then we have they're called Fire and Vice, and they're going to be doing sausages, flatbreads, burgers. I'm trying to get him to do Schweinhaxe, which is the pork knuckle we were talking about, and I think he's also going to be doing schnitzel too. So there's gonna be some cool German food going through there, so we don't have the food trucks anymore.
Nice. And
Yeah.
of course, beer to go, right? 4-packs and
Oh yeah,
6-packs and
beer to go every day, and then Mondays and Tuesdays 4 to 7 we just do beer to go.
Well, I'm
Jason's
bringing
back.
Jason back in here. One of the things that I was just thinking about too is, I mean, as you're talking about all this, and you're talking that the 9th anniversary is coming up here very quick. You've got the Imperial Pilsner definitely coming out, and so if you go to enegrenbrewing.com and you scroll to the bottom of the page, you can find their Twitter and their Facebook and their Instagram, all those kinds of links. So you make sure to give them a like and a follow, just so you can keep track of what they're doing. Because, John, you were talking earlier. Do you know yet, or do you have an idea of what you would like to be doing for the 9th anniversary?
I mean, we usually have a big party, but that's not, we can't, I don't think we can have music right now. So we'll see. We're going to be doing a glass for sure to pair with the beer, as we always do. And we're doing a ton of cans this year because that's going to be a lot. We brewed this beer right when everything opened back up, so we were like, all right, cool, let's put 60 barrels in. We're gonna sell out in the Feds. Like, okay, now we've like closed it down a little bit more, but we're gonna do whatever we can. The thing that's more not concerning, but like that I want to get a lot more creative on there. I'm gonna have to is our Oktoberfest. Like our Oktoberfest is one of the most epic parties around here. We usually get like a Ferris wheel and a petting zoo, and there's all kinds of different people are it's
We
like
can still social
Oktoberfest.
distance on the Ferris wheel, like every other
Yeah.
car or every
It
third
should be
car,
6
like,
feet
Cars are
apart.
6 feet
Yeah,
apart, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, man.
So we're gonna see what we can do for that, and hopefully looks like numbers are going down, so maybe by that time we can do a little something cooler and at least have some music out there. Yeah.
Well,
Everybody wear your
John,
masks. Wear your masks, damn it.
Your Oktoberfest is end of September, or is it true to the?
It's
First
the beginning
Saturday,
of
October.
October because we
okay.
run it with in line with an event in Moore Park, like their big country days thing. So, but
Okay.
our Oktoberfest beer comes out beginning of September, and that's just been flying every year too. So we have that beer. So that's a Märzen, and then we also have the Fest beer that comes out like more around the actual Oktoberfest time.
I really hope that you get your Oktoberfest back, because you said first Saturday of October, and I remember I always had something to do. There's always some other festival or some other event that we're at, but this year I hope it comes back, and because I'm looking, I want to put my lederhosen on. Oh hell yeah, I want to be there. So let's hope that happens by October. Yeah. We're all in the clear
for sure.
Jason's ready to go now. He's already got the lederhosen on.
I lost my connection because you guys broke my internet. Not everybody else's internet, but you broke my internet talking about food and beer pairings. I got super excited. The connection got excited, and we just collapsed. We were like, oh my god, just bring on the beer and the sausage and the desserts. Like, I'm ready to go, and I agree with you, Joby. I hope that no other festival, not to diminish.
I don't care if anybody else comes up. I'm still going.
I hope that nobody else's festival comes back except Enegren's Oktoberfest. And we have an opportunity to be
putting it out there. Please, everyone, pick a different weekend.
Yep.
I'm bummed because last year we started like some really cool Oktoberfest commercials. And I wanted to continue doing that this year. I had some great ideas for our Frühlingsfest and then everything, and I was just like, and now it's like I gotta put so much focus on just being able to do everything that I haven't been able to do it. But we're gonna have fun this year. It's about the beer and the people anyway, so we'll get something going.
I think you should still make the commercials, but
I know
show your frustration.
Aaron's gonna have to put on masks on.
Yeah, put your mask on. Make it true to the time. Make it true to the
Exactly.
Do it, John.
I feel like you're committing a uniform violation right now, Aaron.
He's already feels so bad, and you're making him feel even worse now.
Oh, that's all right. It's been a long day.
We'll cheers with you in person soon. And Curtis, I look
wait.
forward to another iteration of the duct tape lederhosen. Bring it back.
Yeah, we want to see this.
I'll do my best, certainly.
I think he still has it hanging in the closet.
Curtis is going to do a TikTok where he shows you how to make a duct tape hop.
Well, guys, is there anything else that you guys want people to know? Is there anything else that you guys want to get out there? Otherwise, go see the guys at Enegren in Moore Park.
Yeah, come raise a stein with us.
Yeah, if you can't make it out to us, support your local spots. That's all we ask. Support,
definitely.
All the people we helped out with the takeover and things like that this last weekend. We're so really appreciative of you guys for, taking that on and wanting to do that. Just as any way we could to just help push people to you guys and show some love on our old tried and true accounts, man. We appreciate you guys very much for always keeping us on. You guys have always had us on.
Well, thank you guys. We can't wait to have a beer with you guys.
Yeah,
definitely.
Cannot wait.
And a burger.
All right, so
and a burger, yes.
Yes.
And before
burger with the big meat reduction and caramelized onions.
The little big meat.
On
the
track.
little big meat. I love it.
Okay, so before Jason's connection gets too excited again here as we're talking about food, we'll cut out to the break. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at Happy Hour_Again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with hours of drinking songs. Joby, Jason, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page at Happy Hour Again, and follow us on Instagram at happyhour_again. Happy Hour Again can also be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and TuneIn Podcasts. If you enjoy the music we play in the breaks, you can search for our playlist on Spotify. Look for the Happy Hour Again soundtrack by Hophead Said, and you'll find a playlist with one.
Daddy's got laundry to fold.
And welcome back to Happy Hour Again.
That's perfect.
Great show, great intro there, Jason. We caught it. We all know what we've got to do.
Did you catch it?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got. We have. Besides our superstar celebrity personas here, we still have to do laundry. So it's
Yeah,
important.
and based on the opening, you may think I'm wearing these because I'm running out of clothes, but it really was just to honor John and Aaron from Enegren Brewing in our
awesome.
last segment. So
I do like how John was watching and saw that you were wearing it, and he's like, "Oh shit, I better go put some on."
he was
I
like
feel
Clark Kent in a phone booth.
I feel like he was already wearing those all day.
That was just
He
his.
did
that
say
was-
he said they were
he-
really comfortable. He said they were really comfortable.
He probably put those on as part of his work day. It is a Monday. I mean, he went to the office like that.
He
yeah.
probably did.
And anything that fits you like a glove. I'm just wondering where. Never mind.
Like a glove.
what kind of glove? Like those newfangled briefs that have different sections for different
What do you mean?
parts.
What kind of glove, Curtis?
Yeah,
How many types of gloves are there?
I believe there. Well, right now everyone's wearing one kind of glove. I don't understand, Curtis.
I mean, what happens if the glove doesn't fit?
That's what I'm talking about. Like things get uncomfortable real quick.
Awkward silence. Oh man, that was a great segment though. We had a really good time with John and Aaron from Enegren Brewing. As you know, when we think about some of the shows we've done in the past, what I liked about this particular segment is the fact that it came back to the beer. You know, Joe, you've referenced the Happy Hour Again show being kind of a drinking show. This was for me like a nostalgic episode because it's really about getting into the heart of the beverage and why the beverage brings people together.
Right on.
Sorry. Yeah, that was perfect. I have a little bit of an allergy thing going. It's kind of funny. I think it might be the Noble Citra hop.
Maybe so. You got a little sniffles going on, sir?
Yeah, he does.
If you sneeze, but if you sneeze in public, people are going to think you got the COVID.
You can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna cough or sneeze in public. I'm not in public right
The
now.
other day, I was on the verge of sneezing behind my mask, and I had to step away and take a big old snort
Wait.
because I'm like, if I sneeze right now, even with my mask, I'm gonna get such dirty looks. I'm gonna be like, run out of this line at the grocery store.
Just don't sneeze on anyone. I do
Wait,
like
sneezing is not a symptom of COVID.
No. I've been
It's just
No,
frowned
but
upon.
No, people get anxious, man. They're like, oh God, he's showing some type of sickness. What is it?
Well, the problem, even though it's not a symptom of COVID, we've all seen the 30-foot radius of a sneeze meme now, so we're all a little worried.
Now we're
Okay.
30 feet? I thought a few episodes back it was 27 feet, Curtis.
No,
No,
I
no,
think it's
sneakers.
going on like 35, 40 feet now.
Curtis, you know what it is, Joby? Every week, Curtis adds another foot based on the number of weeks he's been sequestered in his own home, even though he's traveling abundantly compared to the two of us.
I do. I like to exaggerate a little bit. Maybe it's only 15 feet. I don't know, but I'm
I think
just
singers can sing and project 30 to 60 or 80 feet. I don't know. That's why there's no live music.
And now your projectile champion, Curtis Taylor, with his 30-foot sneeze.
right. And I've been doing some workout, and I've got a project going, and I'm doing a lot of sawing and sanding. And even though I'm wearing a respirator and dust mask, there's still a lot of particulate matter in the air. So when you take it off, just to kind of walk back and forth, I get these big ol' sneeze things coming through. And I just let them roll in my courtyard just to let the whole neighborhood know that they shouldn't come anywhere near me.
Yep.
One of those
Big old do not enter sign right outside Curtis's gate.
the big obnoxious sneezers, you know, in any group, the ones that just let it just roar through.
You're the equivalent of that old time like Southern guy with the "will shoot you with my shotgun" sign outside of his like rusty car lot.
I would like
Don't
to
come
say
near
that
me.
the only person worse than the loud sneezer is the loud clear your throat guy or girl. Oh my goodness.
I like to,
Yes.
Jason. I like to think of myself more as a a the colonel, the white goatee, white beard, sitting
Yeah.
and drinking
Okay.
a nice tea
Are you
on the
extra
porch.
crispy or your traditional recipe?
Is that a sweet tea or just a regular iced tea? Curtis?
Oh, it's just regular. Sweet tea's way too sweet for this kid.
So did you growing up though, I like this. All of a sudden I had an image of the back little concrete pad as like a 2.5 by 2.5 foot concrete pad outside my grandparents' back door. And we did the big jars where you just put
Right.
massive amounts of tea packets in water and let it out in the sun. Were you a heavy sweet tea direction or traditional then? Did you add the sugar or did you let the tea do its work?
For me,
We don't make sun tea in
Either one of
California,
yeah,
Jason.
I actually
make
I
some
didn't
tea in
grow up. I
California.
didn't grow up with
They don't
sun
make
tea.
sun tea in California.
I didn't grow up.
I know
well,
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
There,
about. but
I
we
know
don't
a
make
lot
that
of people
here.
who did sun tea, but I just wasn't a. I'm still not a tea person. Like it, I
Damn
don't.
it.
I don't
I
like
feel like
mildly flavored
I don't even
water.
feel like the odd man out. I'm literally
Curtis,
the odd man out right now.
I could not agree with you more. I'll take my coffee and screw the tea.
Right.
man.
Here, let me give you something that tastes sort of, kind of like water,
Change
but
the flavor
not.
of this water a little bit.
You sons of bitches.
Oh, put some lemon
Don't be
and sugar
teasing
in
my
it.
water, okay?
Thanks. There we go.
Yeah.
There was, you are missing out, sir. If you didn't have a big old glass jug full of water and tea bags that got complimented with a little bit of
I know
sugar
what you're talking
lately,
about. Sun tea, yes.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about based on the labels.
No,
All those major brands, they
yeah.
pilfered the essence of what Sun Tea was about. You don't even. One of these days, now I'm on a mission. All of a sudden, it's in my bones.
Don't waste your time.
Sun
We
tea.
don't want your tea. Unless it has alcohol in it, we don't want your tea.
How about the Amaro? Can we all drink Amaro together instead? Because I'm drinking some Ventura.
That's a better idea. Listen, hot tea or Curtis, no hot, no cold, right? No tea. All right.
No tea. Okay, no tea.
I'm like, I don't want hot water. I don't want to drink hot water, I should say.
Okay, hold on. At least, I'm going to keep going down the line. The more annoying than the clear throat is the hot water with lemon and sugar person. I'm not going to make tea, but I'm just going to do hot water and lemon and sugar. Jason, it's Jason. He's getting upset. Is that you, Jason?
I know, because it reminds me of all those moments where someone was making their own lemonade tableside.
Well, there's the hot tea.
No, I'm good. Ma'am, sir, what can I get you drinks? I'm good. Can I just get some water and a couple wedges of lemon? And then they got like 4 packets of sugar open on the table. You're making your own lemonade, you jackass.
No, but there's the hot tea equivalent where they're. What are you drinking right now? Are you drinking hot lemon water? What is this? Like,
Joby, I know that you've seen someone pull a tea bag out of their purse or their pocket
oh yeah,
in the restaurant after asking for hot water and lemon.
Listen, I'm not going to talk about my guests, but what we're saying is there are people that
I
carry
didn't say it had to
around
be in
their
your
own.
restaurant. I know you've seen it somewhere else.
There are people that carry around their own tea. I have seen this. Now, the question is, do they have a certain tea that they like that nobody has?
Or are they just trying to save money?
It's a Lipton tea bag that
I'll
they
say
pulled
it
out.
because
I've got
someone in
this
my live
special
studio
one.
audience tonight may or may not have done that at some point. I bet that someone in my live
Lipton.
studio audience carries tea bags in their purse.
Hey,
Right.
to each his own. To each his own.
Right, I hear you.
Or her own.
Right.
Her own,
And
yes.
generally, the warm hot water is gender wise, I think falls squarely on women because they're cold, right?
Oh, Curtis, you just opened up a can.
Man.
I'm just
Thank
saying.
God we're getting ready to
Curtis.
close out tonight's
This is
show.
I'm just saying
20,
there's-
20.
I'm just saying I never want hot water.
That's true.
Genevieve, where are you right now?
Oh,
Genevieve,
she's
to the
gonna
studio, please.
back me up on this one because of the two of us. It's I'm sitting and having a beer and she's like, "Can I get a hot water?"
Yeah, hot
Yeah.
water. I think I have to agree with Curtis. Hot water. Wait,
And it's and there's
Jason is
nothing-
ordering hot water. That's why he's looking at.
Well,
it.
maybe
Is
that's
he-
why. Maybe that's why. Yeah, he was so upset about that just a moment ago. I don't know.
Am I projecting and deflecting? Is that
Maybe.
what's happening?
And not that there's anything wrong with it. To quote
No.
Seinfeld, like not that there's anything. It's if you're cold, then drink hot water. Go to it. I prefer.
Yeah.
I prefer my water cold and generally bubbly.
What about the? What were those little things that people were taking out and putting in their water to flavor it. So they just order. I forget what those are called. The little concentrated bullshit, like
Yeah,
a couple
what
of
is-
drops in your water.
Then the beverage companies that got smart and they started making their own pre-mixed in a bottle.
Right. Like here you
And
go.
It was way better.
Cause I'm way too lazy to open up the little tiny packet and dump it into my water, right?
Hey, Curtis, don't you judge my level of laziness right now, okay?
I'm just saying.
I feel like we need to have little sound effects, and one of them should be, and the show has reached a new low. I think that's from Monty Python. I think it's from Monty Python.
Yeah, I'll start researching that, see what I can add into this here. I don't think you can get it through Zoom. I could add it into the live stream definitely while we're doing it.
Are we at the point though where we can request? I was thinking about this the other day. I would like to start putting out some ads. If anyone listening right now has an ounce of social media prowess and wants to work for 4-packs, maybe even 6-packs of beer, join our team. We're looking for someone to help with sound effects and social media so that the three of us can continue to goof off at our leisure and not worry about the technical components of the show. You want to be part of Happy Hour again, like we'll make it work. 4-packs or 6-packs.
I like your offer, Jason. 4-packs or 6-packs.
Well,
Yeah,
depends on which
16
of our
ounces
beer
or 12
partners we
ounce
can
cans.
make up.
Well, yeah, most people are doing 4-pack. You're right. All right. I think that's it. Jason's call soliciting of employment should be our ending. I can't even. I'm gonna take myself out.
Why do you think I put it out there for other people? Because I don't want to take it on right now either.
Okay. No, I just went out to take myself out of this. Hold on.
Is that what you
But we
went
can
away?
all see your name, so we know you're still around. All right, I think that's the official close. Oh, never mind.
Oh shit!
All right, kids. That's it
Curtis,
for happy hour
Can that be our
again.
new T-shirt as well? Oh shit!
I did.
Happy hour again on the front. Oh shit on the back.
Yes, to recap
like
our
that.
t-shirt designs. A little big meat goes a long way. Number one.
How many are we up to at
That's-
this point? What's the
Put
number
the
of
happiness
slogans on it?
put the happiness in your mouth right now was
Yes.
the number 2. And then
That's good.
while it wasn't commented on very much at the point because Jason kept on talking and I couldn't interject was my connection got excited. So those will be
My connection got excited.
but I did catch him.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
My connection got excited and I got kicked out.
That's
All
why
right.
you're the producer, Curtis. Because you grab things that none of us can ever like
It's-
pay attention to.
It's like I got an ear or something, right? All right, everyone who's listening and on those podcast thingies, you can find us all over the place. Spotify,
Anyone whose
Tune in.
intelligence is dropping at the moment right now because
Apple,
we're
right? Because you wanna
podcast.
listen to this on your drive in, your commute into work tomorrow. Certainly, give us a like and give us some ratings. Like, give us some 5 stars. Like, help a brother out. Would you just like 5 stars? Get us some cred, street cred, so we can say, hey, we've got a 5-star rating. That would be awesome. And that's it for
And
this
again,
evening.
if you want to be part of the Happy Hour again team, we'll find something for you to do. Like
4-packs.
there's
4-packs.
he just like just flashes in from time to time.